your center, reach through the arms. And of course, if you're looking in a mirror, just check that you are extremely aware of that midline, weight bearing through even feet and no locking out of the knees. And then coming into rotation, and know that you can spiral with the face forward. And when you are spiraling, if you are doing this, just to kind of warm up, know that that is moving all the way through down towards your feet and ankles. So we are turning thorax, turning the ribs, turning the hips. Some of you will also want to rotate fully, maybe slow down, turn the head, inhale, exhale. So really just choosing what feels appropriate. If you come to class with a bit of a shadow of back pain or a few little glitches, a few little tender spots, then of course your range of motion might be different today. So just observe that with full kindness and compassion. And I welcome you again to your Wednesday Pilates. So midweek, maybe you've got a lot of plans today, maybe you are unbusy, everything is good. Let's try to bring a bigger attitude of gratitude to our days, knowing that this is the real life we're living, this present moment. And maybe coming to close that rotation, rolling the shoulders, bring the fingertips on top of the shoulders, and just a more considered rotation. So spread out through your toes, breathing in. As you exhale, rotate one way. Notice you might be drawing the pelvis with you, and then send the pelvis back to center. So just prioritize the rotation of the ribs. So trying to keep that pelvis, hip points facing forward. So for example, here I'm turning left. So my left hip is trying to move centered or even oppositionally turn to the right. Feel connected. Please try not to lock out the knees or the femur bones. And then open the arms, breathe in. Exhale, squeeze back to center, draw yourself back. Even if your rotation didn't feel as if it was going that far, we're going to coordinate with the breath. So pelvis forward, hips forward, crown is lengthening, good, long, soft neck and throat. Expand on the breath in. Exhaling to the right as you rotate the ribs, but keep the pelvis steady. Maybe just a little light encouragement of the head and neck. Stay steady as you breathe, and then connect to an in-breath as you open out through the arms. Try not to hunch those shoulders. And then exhale, fingers come back to the shoulders and release. And of course, you can pattern that twice more. Turning left, connect to the breath, open your arms, inhale, exhale, draw back, and then finishing with rotating to the right, please. So just add in a little bit more attention to being guided by your breathing. Once you're back in center, remember that the feet are hip wide below the knees and hips. Float the arms out again, spread the thumbs away from the fingers. Shake out those legs. Pilates lean. So moving against an imaginary wall. Here again, if you want to turn and rotate the head and neck. Look right as you lean right, look left as you lean left. And then if everything feels relatively moving well, a right and a left lean is one set. See if you can manage another 8 sets. And while you're doing that, continue to wrap and corset your abdominals really, really securely. So this core connection that is formed through the Pilates method, it doesn't have to be all day long. You know, you don't want to squeeze the ribs in and pull them over to the spine all day, of course, but you do want to be aware of it during your exercises. If that is you completing Pilates lean, shrug and release, rotate the palms up, breathing in as you exhale, centering well, spreading out the feet and toes, and then lengthen through the right arm and come to a side bend, but keep that left arm really long and steady and reach over, breathe back to center, lengthen your left arm, side bend, keep that right arm reaching away and pull back to center, shoulder blades down the back. I think that would be quite a good movement where you might choose to hold your hand weights. So you might want to gather those or just continue. Now, it's not leaning. You're going to be centered as you extend the arm. If you need to bend the elbow, that's fine. Remember, we don't want the arm to pull the body forward. So feel this kind of L shape and then lift up, over and out. Almost as if here you've got like a painted fence and you want to draw the body over that fence, but without using the scapulae, without lifting those scapulae up and creating a rounded upper back. Now you're probably moving faster than my demonstration. That's fine, but it's also good to pause, hold, kind of lengthen more and think about the crown reaching towards the top corner of the room. As you release back, if the shoulders have crept up a little bit, slide them down, palms face the sky, observe where you are with that one. I like to exhale comfortably. Inhale the arm. Extend on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen a bit more. And exhale on the way back. Okay, completing the one that you're on or finishing, roll out the shoulders. Draw your heels together, so coming into Joseph Pilates' first position. Feet apart, heels together, create zip and hollow. Bring the fingertips just to graze the back and shell of your ears, or you can even just place your interlaced palms on top of your crown, and you can even do this if necessary. But I'm going to stay here, just around the shell of the ears. So releve. Now we're going to go high on the heels today so that the ankles come apart. So see if you can slide up the wall, please, for 10 repetitions and coming high on those heels. So they will join as you land. So opening out that chest. You can be here if you need to be. And breathe, squeeze, open, and up and down. And down. Obviously, don't push your head forward. And down. So there's a very light touch of the fingers. Up and down, up and down. By the way, if you're still holding your weights, of course, you've got them here. Up and down. Breathing all the way through. If you're managing more than 10, if it's okay, and you want to do this a little bit faster, that's fine. But notice how many of those repetitions are quite good form and how many are you tipping forward, are you rolling to the side? Can you really feel that the feet land? Sometimes when you land, you sort of tip back and the toes lift. So being aware of all those different ways that you can Bring a little bit more precision to the position. And then afterwards, palms are here. Going to lift the shoulders up towards the ears. So Pilates corkscrew. Exhale, slide the shoulders down at the same time. Let the arms come around and down. And we'll go right down into almost the chicken wing position. So inhale. Crown is still centered. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades down and feel these muscles here, like the armpit muscles and the lat dorso. And then on the end of that exhale, you're still breathing out. You're going to spread down and unite that breath to a full emptying of your lungs. So maybe allow a few just really soft, natural breaths in between. In through the nose if you wish as you shrug. Exhale, glide, glide, glide. And as the shoulder blades draw down, the elbows draw into the sideways. Full exhale. It feels like your neck is growing longer. And also as the blades slide down, have a sense that you are noticing this elongation. So there isn't a tuck, but you're drawing the muscular energy of the back core down into your gluteals. So much as this is a beautiful movement for the strength of your shoulder girdle, this is also a great breathing exercise. Okay, completing your corkscrews, shake out your legs. If you did want to have your hand weights, you could also use them for this next one. So line your knees below the hips, feet are in hip wide. Bring the palms into front raise. Inhale, and then we're going to simply knee bend and press back, but really trying to align everything really beautifully here. So again, no tipping back, no tipping forward, just that sliding down the wall. No need to bounce on those knees. Gliding up, you can come all the way to a full body length if you wish. And then you're moving through. And this can be at a moderate pace, depending on the weight of your hand weights, or of course, if you are not using weights, and it's easier and better for you to just keep your arms down, then you can just work in a different range. So moving faster, moving into the arm press back. Let's be truthful. If your knees tend to flare apart, or you have a little bit of trouble keeping the alignment of your knee bend, then take hold of your scatter cushion or a yoga brick. They sit between your inner thighs so that you hug through those inner thighs. And this does help the muscles kind of feel that extra strength. By the way, if you're using a prop, if you've paused your practice to place a prop in, do make sure, sorry about that noise, do make sure that if you're aligned through those knees, that you don't have duck feet. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people put a prop between their thighs and knees and still manage to turn their feet out. So be aware of that. Finally, and I know Eleanor, we've talked about this, sometimes with knee bend, it's better for you to have a shoulder wide position and have that wider leg. Yeah, so it's really important that you look after the health of those knees and you observe the gluteals. So the gluteals work particularly well on the exit. So whether you are hip wide or shoulder wide, let's bring the arms out now, come down into that position, even if it's a deeper position, and then squeeze up, squeeze. squeeze, squeeze. So it's kind of like a little pulsing. You could bring the hands to center if you prefer. And it's not a bounce. You're down into the knee bend, belly muscles in, and then squeeze, squeeze up, press up, press up. Therefore, again, your pace is not super fast. Otherwise, it will turn into a kind of bouncing off of those knees, and that is not the purpose. The purpose is to feel the strength around the thighs, the inner thighs, pelvic stability, and the gluteals. Now step your feet wider for plie and turn the feet out. I'm going to come onto one surface because in the mat there I've got, it's not good to have one foot on a raised surface. I have one foot on the blanket, which is no good. So bring the feet potentially mat wide, possibly wider, feet turned out. Let's bring the weights into the navel center or fists coming in. Glide down the wall. Take account of your position. So shoulders stacking over the hips. And then see if you can just go a little bit lower, opening out the thighs. As you exhale, squeeze back to center. So we're going to inhale lower, exhale back. And then again, speed is a good technique. Squeeze, inhale, exhale. Squeeze, exhale. So really imagine that in between those thighs as well, that as you exhale, you're drawing into that zip. You might want to find 10 more. And we're going to place the weights, if we're using them, up onto the shoulders. Come into that plie. And press and pull for 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 2, 1, and then rise. Come to a kind of X shape if you want. And slow it down. One full breath. Rise and steady. Squeeze, centered. Try not to lean back or forward. Widen the thighs. In and out, possibly in through nose, out through mouth. Can you find 5 steady Pilates plie? And then back into position. Lift up your right foot, heel, release. Lift the left foot, heel, lengthen, release. But try not to lift the heel and stand. So keeping low in the position. Heel, heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10. Release. Shake it out. Well done. So weights can go to the side, or if you want to use them during your mat practice, place them down on the mat. So coming into all fours, knees below hips, spreading your palms below your shoulders, please. Palms below shoulders. And then as you breathe in, just explore the broadness of your back. As you breathe out, hollow, abdominal rounding, scoop through, shoulder blades press up towards the sky, and you find that you are promoting that C-shaped curve in your spine. And remember this idea of bringing the hands closer to your knees, or maybe walking them further away. Maybe sitting the hips back a little bit. So, you know, let yourself explore where is the best position for the releasing of those muscles, the releasing of the spinal muscles around that lumbar curve. Make sure the knees are protected. As you come up to high kneeling, float your arms forward, weights if you wish, lengthen through that tail, so it's just like Pilates standing, but you're kneeling, connect to the tops of the feet and the shins, hug everything in, and lean back, and then stack. Inhale, exhale, hug in, lean back, and centered. So lean and stack, center. And know that you're going to feel quite a lot of energy happening in the frontal thighs, but promote whole body awareness. Pilates lean back 6 to 8 times. And then return to all fours. Maybe walk the knuckles towards the front of the practice mat. Reach the leg away. Each leg, just reach it away. You can even press it up to the sky. Point the toes. Lengthen a few times. So reach out through the legs. And then find your table back. Squeeze the legs together in a Pilates plank. Crown lengthens. And then walk your feet 20 steps to the right. Squeeze. Walk your feet 20 steps into the center again. And then little tiny steps over to the left. Just a little bit off your mat. But obviously make sure that you're not going to walk into something in your room and slip. Center, press the earth away, hug the muscles in. Try not to drape your body and also try not to lift the buttocks, but if you need to lift up and stretch away a little bit, that's fine, as long as you return. Now take your left toes to the left, squeeze back. Right toes tap to the right, squeeze back. Left, right, left. And if you have a lot more range, bring the left leg right towards the left wrist, sweep back. Bring it right round, sweep back. So again, that is combining some pelvic stability, shoulder stability, and then a really sweeping opening of your leg. Maybe a couple more of those. And then add in a shell stretch or a child's pose. Maybe take the knees apart, and lengthen through, a bit of a wiggle. Take the weight off those hands, lift the hands. You might want to turn the palms up towards the sky. Allow a really good breath. And then sweep round to come onto your back body and let yourself lay on the back. Now on the back body, center yourself, check that you are centered, spread out the buttocks, lengthen from your crown, and let the weight of the body rest, and then cradle the head. And be relaxed as possible in your breath and in your body. Pelvis is in neutral, spine is long. Chest lift, so lift up, arms, shoulders, head. Once you lifted, stay here and be truthful. Are you pulling that head? Are you tucking that chin? Are you grabbing? Are you forcing? Can you be quite relaxed in your breath? And then the fingers will kiss the mat, tap, and squeeze back. 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold steady. Squeeze, breathe. Take the left arm forward, reach towards your thigh or towards the mat. Curl a little higher, lift a little more. Inhale the hand back. Exhale, right arm reaches, taps forward or extends. Bring the hand back. Now you can lay the head down and allow a resting breath, and even roll your head and neck. Or continue. You are curled in the upper curl, chest lift. Exhale, left arm forward. Inhale back. Exhale, right arm forward. Inhale back. Left forward. Come back. The most important action in that movement is that you breathe. So the strength comes not just from holding steady in that position, but also to add in enough time for your breathing. And also a little bit of resting. Recovery. Third set, or you are still in the lifting. Try not to tuck that pelvis, keep the base heavy. Inhale, elbows are quite wide, spacious. Exhale, both arms forward. Inhale the arms, they touch the shell of the ear or you cradle fully. Exhale, both arms reach forward. Again, if you want to, you can kiss the head down. Inhale, widen, exhale, lift, reach. Inhale down, widen the elbows. Exhale, curl, lift, and reach. So there's plenty of options, but hopefully you will feel that extra connection to particularly the upper abdominals and the mid. But you will have the lower abdominals as well and the side walls if you stay here in your strength. And now we're going side to side. So roll out the head and neck. Try not to let tension come into your throat, your face, your teeth, your jaw, and your collarbones. Let everything be soft. And then lift, curl. Reach your fingertips towards the feet. You can walk your feet in closer if you wish. Really don't want to jam up those thigh bones. And then slide to the left as if you're trying to tap your left ankle or reach to that left heel. Center, breathe in, and then slide to the right as if you're going to touch, tap, or reach for the right shin. And then we normally go a little faster. And you might be tapping your leg or your ankle or not. So just practice a few sets, a few repetitions. So left and right is one set. Have a breather. And then maybe repeat. Sometimes, as you tap, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and you count to 10, that can be a lovely way of moving through that one. Let's bring the knees into the chest now. Give yourself a little hug. Press the palms down, backs of the arms connect to the mat. And then as the feet and toes lift, and they are squeezing together, lift the hips and pelvis. Sometimes people find that as the effort comes from lifting the body away, it's just a tiny little lift, that the legs go over the back of the head, and we don't really want that because you don't want to cause a sharp aggravation to your neck. If that is happening to you, you might want to put the feet down and just curl your pelvis, come into that deep lower abdominal connect, and just lift your bum into a tiny, tiny, tinsy tiny mini bridge. So it's a squeeze curl, a squeeze curl. It's like you're barely lifting the buttocks away. If you're okay with the what's known as the reverse curl, see if you can project your feet up to the sky rather than over the top of the face. The other thing that happens is that the shoulders start to slide up to your ears. So that's why having quite powerful triceps, pressing them back is good. Keep the gaze up towards the sky. Try to allow a quiet landing. Maybe you'll have 6, 8 or 10. You can also flare out your toes, and you can even flex the feet and ankles. It's an exhale on the effort. Keep the legs towards the sky, even if that means you prefer to have another little hug. Flex the feet, take the legs apart, point the feet, flex, point the feet, flex. You can bring your heels together and rotate your legs outwards, even if they're apart. See how that feels? So you've got the inner seam of your legs. And then lower the legs, maybe to 45 angle. Feel no arching or minimal. You know, you don't want to be in that sort of state of, excuse me, you don't want to be in a state of losing your stability. I really felt like I was going to do a massive sneeze. I'm trying to hold on to a sneeze. Lowering the legs, coming back. So we breathe into lower. Keep control of the corset and exhale back and externally rotate those thighs as much as you can. Squeeze back. Inhale lower and squeeze back. Now you might notice that sometimes I will lower way beyond the 45 angle and then really pull back. And it's not because I'm showing off, it's because if your Pilates practice is well developed and your core is strong enough and you don't have any back issues, you probably can release to that level. So probably, you know, bringing those legs down into the lower position could well be a good practice for you. I'm going to offer you another option, which is a little bit more advanced, which is to separate the legs and kind of swing them back. So it looks like this. So the legs lower with the flex. Keep the shoulders grounded, keep the face to the sky, and then point the toes, separate, sweep back. Lower to 45 angle or to your set point of control. Point the feet, widen, sweep, swim back. They come back above the head, they even might come towards your face a little bit. Inhale as you lower, expand, pause, point, exhale, swim round and back. And then bring those knees in, hug massage, place your feet resting. Let your body have a full body twist, a floor twist with your arms open and rotating the pelvis, left and right, easily. And then bringing your feet to rest again into your supine semi, cradling the head. Exhale, curl, so upper chest lift, and then rotation. So you're going to float the right knee above the hip and turn to the right and come back to center. These weights in the way. I'm just going to move that out to the side. So exhale, turn, inhale, center. So the clue is to attempt to lift a little bit higher, and you are practicing maybe 6, turning to the right. Set your body into neutral center. Curl. There is your exhale as you stay here. Then you breathe in. Set that left knee above the hip. Try not to let that lower leg dangle, so you can flex the foot or have a soft foot. Lift as high as possible without dragging on that neck. And then turn to your left. Right shoulder blade pulls up and away as you twist, lift, turn center. You don't really want to do this and pull the elbow towards the knee. That is not really the way that Pilates method works. But if you want to try that to see how it feels, then do so. Because if that kind of works better for you, then that's fine. So giving yourself the option to twist one way, and that's, a whole set, maybe 6 on each side. And then finishing with crisscross. So curl up, knees above the hips. You might want to remind yourself of single leg alternate and just stay centered. Remember to breathe in through nose, maybe out through mouth, and then twist. Slow it down or speed it up. Always good to rest, recover, and repeat the set of crisscross, or to stop, roll the head, allow a full body stretch, flex and point the feet, circle the ankles, inhale, exhale, and you will rise to sit, squeeze through your body. Even if you have to use a little assist, like I have been actually telling you how, the more that I go to the treadmill, the more that I do add some running and cardiovascular into my own health, sometimes the harder I find it is to do full roll up with elegance. But I'm not in my practice, I'm about teaching yours. So know that I can find that different effect, but hopefully you are now here with me, sitting, maybe the legs are out front, give them a shake. You can, of course, bend your knees or point the feet. Please make sure you are stacked on the center sit bones, and then float the arms. Inhale, exhale, spine reach forward, so hollow that belly back. Reach forward, inhale, exhale, reach a little further. If you've gotten hold of your feet, toes, or sides of your mat, then create an opposition. So pull with the arms and resist back with your body. Pull with your arms, even if you bend the elbows and have got the soles of the feet. And then resist back with the body. If your knees are bent, another lovely way of doing this is to wrap the arms underneath the thighs. And again, pull with your arms, pulling your body forward, and then resist with the curved C-shaped spine. Sit tall, inhale, pull, exhale, resist. And then please come to stand. And as you come to stand, we're going to finish with a standing balance. Take the arms wide. Have a little stagger of the feet. So from your hip wide feet, step your right foot forward. And then lift the left and just glide into hip extension. Press that left heel away. Point flex, maybe 5 times. And lengthen out. Left foot forward, arms open, lovely open chest, crown extended. Send weight onto that left leg, tip, raise right. Stay here or tip a little further. Point flex the extended foot leg. Shoulders down the back. Come back to stand. Allow a resting, purposeful, intentional breath. Maybe close your eyes. Hope you feel different, healthy, well, positive. Have a great day ahead.